Well, I'm attorney Dan Marr from the Nashua, New Hampshire law firm of Hamlin Carey. I've been practicing in New Hampshire for approximately 37 years and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts for 28, 29 years. And during that time period, I've had a variety of clients that I've helped, assisted with their children who are going to college and some of their legal needs in regards to that. And we're going to be talking about that in today's blog. There's a variety of things we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about their healthcare issues in regards to college, some maybe frank discussions with them as to now that they're out on their own, some taking responsibility for themselves, and also lease negotiations if they're not having on-campus housing, if they're negotiating with landlords. We're going to be covering all those issues. Lastly, while it doesn't come up much, sometimes people want to actually have a discussion as to the end-of-life decisions, the living wills, the what's called advance directives. We'll talk about all those things in this discussion. Now, your children are in their late teens, in their 20s, and they're thinking, and they're either in college or going to college. One of the things you definitely want to discuss with them and discuss with the health services department of the college is getting knowledge of what their health conditions are, so you can help them out and you can learn about things, and the health services can contact you and let you know if your student is not able to, as to what their health conditions are. That's called a HIPAA release. There's a federal law that gives people privacy rights, and that turns out when your children are 18, they are adults and they have the rights to privacy. And a HIPAA release allows health services to share the information with you. Sometimes when the student is in a situation, they may need some contact from the parents. There might be mental health issues. There might be other issues that are out there. And having a frank discussion with your children about sharing that health information so you can help them out makes sense. And you have a HIPAA release form that all the health services of all the colleges have, and you can have them sign that up. Another thing you want to think about very seriously is what, depending on the state that you're dealing with, is a healthcare power of attorney or healthcare proxy. Those are situations upon which you are able to act on behalf of your child when your child can't act on their own, or they may want guidance from you in regards to something. They get into an accident, they have some mental health care issues, they're depressed, they have hopefully not, but maybe a sexual assault, slip and fall, anything that happens, or they have some type of infection that they have, and they go to a hospital, and you need to help them out with that. All of that, you can make some health decisions for them, and that makes perfect sense. And you should have generally, I think that all parents, or at least parents that have a good relationship with their children, should have a healthcare power of attorney, healthcare proxy for their child. Another thing, and when you're talking about those powers of attorney, you want to think about whether or not you want a durable durable financial power of attorney. Now, they don't have a lot of assets. They don't have huge investments. They certainly don't have a 401k because they haven't gotten out of college yet. They don't have a home or anything like that. But making some of the financial decisions for them helps them pay their bills, perhaps. There might be a financial power of attorney can always be revoked after the child gets out of college and they get married, or they have another significant other that they want to rely on. They can always change that stuff. But these two cares of the healthcare power of attorney and the financial power of attorneys, if something bad happens to your child, and hopefully nothing does, you're not going to be dealing with the issue of a guardianship, going to court and getting permission from the court for the parent to act for this 18-year-old or 20-year-old or 25-year-old child of theirs. You don't have that problem in that situation. I've had clients that are even elderly clients where they haven't had estate planning issues or done any of their estate planning, and they haven't thought about that issue of powers of attorney. One of them has to go and become incapacitated, and the other one has to actually go into court and get a guardianship for their own spouse. And that's just unfortunate, very unfortunate. It's a lot better to plan ahead and have these directives through a power of attorney that kicks in when they're not able to do so. Other issues that you want to deal with is when you're negotiating with a landlord for maybe off-campus housing, not dorm housing, but off-campus housing. Some of the things that you want to think about is, for one, are they going to be requiring you to be a co-signer on the lease. If they're doing that, just don't rely on the landlord saying these are standard provisions, we're not going to deal with this. Rent can be something that's you want to check out competitively, see what's out there. If they have a provision in the lease, and I've seen this in a lot of landlords, particularly in areas that might be a vacation town, where they say, if we sell the property, we have the right to remove you. Go to another landlord. Don't go with that situation. That's a bad situation to be in, and I've seen that. I've seen that up in Portland, Maine recently. I saw a variety of them up there, and the people are selling, and they lose their apartment. They have an apartment for a year. They're planning on being there at least a year, and hopefully for many years. 6 months into it, they have to move because the landlord has decided to sell the property, and they have a provision in there that says they can get them out. Don't agree to those things. Find another landlord. If the landlord says these are standard in the industry, find another landlord that will agree to not kicking you out during that period of time. It's just, frankly, obnoxious. But I see that, and some landlords do that. And if they can get away with it, frankly, if I'm representing a landlord and they're going to allow that, the tenant's going to allow that, I'm going to put it in. So be careful about those situations. Lastly, have a discussion with your children about the consequences of their actions. These are the types of things when you say this, and I remember as a child many years ago, your parents saying something and you say, duh, of course I wouldn't do this, but it makes you that much more extra careful on these things, like consent in relationships, in intimate relationships, the importance of and what no means no, understanding the consequences of drinking, and also not only that you can have some really bad accidents that happen, but also you can lose campus privileges and college privileges. You might be suspended from school if you do something really stupid because the kids haven't been out before. And if they had that conversation, maybe driving in the car, maybe any way you get to them, it's just that one more thing in the back of their head. They're going to act like, of course, Mom, of course, Dad, I'm not going to ever think about that. But that extra step, I remember as a child myself many years ago, that made me that much more safer when if they say drive safe or they say don't drink and drive, all those issues, have the conversation with them because while the college is going to be training them also on these things, it's very good to hear it directly from you. So if you have any questions in regards to this, I'm Dan Marr at 603-883-5501, 603-883-5501. You can check out our website also, Nashua Law, all one word, .com, and you can go to my bio there, and from there you can see my weekly vlogs. I do weekly vlogs for quite some time, all by topic, and you can look at a variety of those topics. So I'm happy to help talk to you if the opportunity arises. Dan Marr, 603-883-5501, website nashualaw.com. Look forward to working with you if the opportunity arises. Thank you.